Hi everyone. So since we weren't able to meet at the end of the year, I just wanted to make this video to walk you through how to set up things for the summer and to explain in a little bit more depth the work that you're going to have to do. So the first thing to do is go to my website. It's mrsweeney.net. You're going to spell it mrsweeney.net. And when you go there, you'll see I put up something for our class. So you click on that, and I'll be updating this over the summer, but the most important part for you right now is to go here to the summer work button and click on that. Now what you'll see is I've explained everything for you in depth here, but you can get kind of lost in the details as you're reading this, so I'm going to just walk you through it now. So the point of this is you're going to be doing three separate things, and it's pretty self-explanatory on that front. You're going to read, you're going to write, you're going to blog. Now, as I've said in the email, a lot of the work that I'm giving you is just work you're going to do in September anyway. So the due dates are here. If you read through this, you'll see. So you can just wait until September to do it if you're, away, if you're on some big long vacation or something. That's fine. If you can bring some work with you, I would try and do that. The real point of this is do it well now. Take your time over the summer. Start getting used to the kind of work you're going to have to do with these texts, because it'll be intense. And if we start in September, at full speed ahead, it might be a little tough. So most of the work is just what I'm assigning for September anyway. There's only one thing that I'm assigning in addition to what we would normally do in September. I'll get to that in a second. But the main thing you need to do is get ready to do this work by setting things up. So if you go over here, you'll see that I have these instructions on everything. The first thing you're going to do is fill out a form for me. So you'll open this, looks like this. You're going to put your name in the form, and the thing I need most is your Townsend Harris email address. Every one of you should have this. If you don't, I can set it up for you, but for the most part, it's your first initial, last name at townsendharris.org. Then I have some questions there for me to get some information about you. I'm just going to fill this out really quickly to show you how it's done. But the idea is you fill out this form, you submit it to me, and then I get the information. And what this allows me to do is share a folder with you on Google Drive. So once I have your townsendharris.org address, I'm going to go to my folder here, and I'm going to share this folder with you. And let me explain what happens. Once it's shared with you, when you open up your Google Drive account, so you click on, this is what it looks like. You have My Drive over here. You also have this folder called Shared With Me. In the Shared With Me section, you'll see this folder I shared with you. It's called Women and Monsters Hub. You click on it, and I've already put these things in there for you to look at. So if you go back to my website, you'll see this list of what you need to do. The first thing you need to do is read. So the way it's going to work is everyone's going to read the same copy of these texts, and you get to them by clicking on the folder called Texts. And the first unit we're going to have will be related to Puritan America, and there are two types of texts we'll read. First is the literary, which is the Scarlet Letter, and the second is the mythic, which is these texts about Guinevere from the King Arthur myths and Helen of Troy from Greek mythology. I actually reversed it. This is what you're going to read first, and the Scarlet Letter you'll read second. The way it works is you'll open the text on Google Docs, and you'll read it here. And the point is, I've added all of these kind of comments throughout, and some of them are questions for you. So it says, analyze this dream vision of Guinevere's. Well, to do that, just reply to my comment. And you don't have to do this for everything, but the point is we can read one document together and kind of work through it together throughout the year. And that way, when you see other people's answers to these kind of comprehension questions, it'll help you. Now you can also ask your own questions. You could also make your own comments. So if you want to like define a word that you don't think people understand, or you want to just ask a question, you just highlight it like this, and this is the comment button up here. Add a comment. And then we could all add just tons of comments throughout the text. So you'll see that everything you have to read for September is in this folder called Texts. So that's how you read. Okay, let's go back to my website. So it says you need to read the selection on Helen, you need to read the section on Guinevere, and then you need to read the section on, or the whole Scarlet Letter. Now, that's reading. For writing, we have to do a little bit more work with Google Drive. So let's just follow through these steps. It says go to Google Drive, click on My Drive, and create a folder. Alright. So now you're in Drive, you click on My Drive up here. I already have a bunch of folders. If you don't really use Google Drive, you won't have many. To create a folder, you click Create and Folder. And now you're going to call it, like I said over here, last name, first name, Women and Monsters. So I would create it like this. Create. Now, once you create the folder, you're going to want to share it with me so that I have access to this folder. This is where you'll put assignments. So to share it with me, you click right-click, Share, and I want you to share it with two email addresses. The first is sweeneytownsend@gmail.com, and the second is bsweeney@townsendharris.org. And I have to be able to edit the folder. That way I can grade it. So make sure it looks like this. Send. It's going to ask you if you really want to give it to sweeneytownsend@gmail.com because I'm not part of townsendharris.org. Yes, you do. Click Done. Now it's shared. You'll notice it's shared because it's got this little person on the folder now. And that way I have access to your folder. Alright, so what are you going to do with this folder? Well, you open it up. There's nothing in it. Let's go back to my website. It says now open the course folder that I shared with you. Inside you will see a file called Dialectical Journal Sample. Right-click on it and make a copy. Then rename the copy last name, first name, Dialectical Journal. Then move or drag the copy you just made into the folder you created in step 1. Alright, so that might be confusing, so let me show you how to do this. Alright, you want to go to that folder I shared with you. It's called Women and Monsters Hub. It's in the Shared With Me folder. To make it easier for yourself, you might want to just drag it into My Drive, and then it will always be over here. So now click on that, and look, here's the thing I'm talking about. You have to make a copy of this. So you right-click on it, you click Make a Copy, and you'll see this thing show up here called Copy of Dialectical Journal Sample. That's yours now, and this is going to be your journal. So if we go back here, it says to rename it last name, first name, Dialectical Journal. So to do that, you right-click, you rename. Alright, Sweeney Bryan Dialectical Journal. Alright, now you don't want it to be in this folder because then everyone in the class can see it. So now you want to just take it and drag it into that other folder you created. Move it out. Now you click on that. Now it's there. So this way I can see the journal that you write. And everyone's going to look the same in a way because we're following a specific format. So I click on this and you'll see what the journal looks like. The point of a dialectical journal is you have kind of two pages. There's a left side and a right side. On the left side, you just kind of take, outline notes, small observations while you're reading something. And you bullet it, and you do that over here. Now I've given you kind of like a format you can follow. You can change this up. But I wanted you to see, you can add pictures if you think of, you can do all sorts of stuff on the left over here. But it's just kind of quick thoughts while you are reading. On the right side, you kind of synthesize these quick thoughts. So maybe you'll notice at the end of like 2 days of taking notes over here that when you're writing about, Guinevere, for example, you notice that a lot of the language describing Guinevere is, I don't know, using imagery related to the moon. That actually doesn't happen, but let's just say it did. So you took tons of notes over here related to the moon. Now on the right here, maybe you just synthesize that. Explain. Think in more detail. Why does it connect Guinevere to the moon? Why does the text do that? What's the point? So this isn't necessarily like a formal essay, but it's just a little bit more formal than quick little jottings that you have over here. And the point is we're constantly doing that. We're having the quick notes on the left side and the more detailed like synthesis of those notes on the right side. The point of this is sometimes these quick notes really don't matter until we've combined them to something bigger and more important. So part of your assignment over the summer, which again is due in September, and this is what I would assign in September anyway, is to start working on your journal. You're going to do this throughout the year. Again, AP English Language is a college course, and college is all about getting you to learn how to annotate text very specifically and synthesize it very analytically. So that's the point of this journal, and the directions are here. Your job is to keep the journal while reading the above texts, and page 3 to 6 are due on September 17th, page 7 to 9 are due on the 24th. So just to be a little bit more clear, I've already laid it out for you. This is page 3. These are your notes for Helen and Guinevere. So this is a template. Your job is to erase this when you're reading and start taking the notes. Here's my first note. And then you erase this when you're ready to synthesize things and you replace it with your notes. The formatting will get all screwed up, so you just have to make sure to constantly keep it neat. Try and keep it all in one page, but if you need to add pages, add pages. The way you can do that is just copy-paste. So just take this as a template, copy it, go to a new page, paste it, and you have a new page. And you can always just reuse this template. All right, so that's writing.